It's radical.
It's like the invention of fire. You're messing with something that's at the base of a really powerful vector.
Wake up! You like money!
The tribals and the natives who are better than us, they don't need money.
Worry more about how much you're making per week than investing what you have like right now.
You can get Domino's Pizza, you can get Netflix. You can't get healthcare, you can't get good real estate.
You like money?
Oh, yeah.
Big stack! Oh! Oh!
My generation and younger, none of us have any wealth because it's currently still held by boomers. Denomination that everything is priced in is this fake number. So you can't really tell how expensive things are in real terms anyway. Like Netflix is $8. Oh my God, now it's 15. What is it now, 15? You can get Domino's Pizza, you can get Netflix, but you can't get healthcare, you can't get good real estate, you can't get the that actually matters. Like you can't acquire these things. It's out of reach for people my age and younger generally.
Because I think a lot of people are too focused on making money and like some get rich quick thing, and they should be more focused on just getting a better job. That's probably gonna be better than investing right now anyway, if you don't know what you're doing. Just try to focus on moving upwards, you know?
Rather than like fretting about where you should put your $1,000 or like you have 2,000 saved. It's like, we get these questions a lot on this channel because, oh my God, man. I realize I'm like young, I don't necessarily always know what I'm talking about with finance, but when I hear Nick and Sam, that's what they say. They say, just get a better job. Worry more about how much you're making per week, increasing your wage, than investing what you have like right now.
Maybe think about getting a recession-proof job. People always do.
Yeah.
The day trading stuff, that's all bullshit, right?
Yeah, mostly.
Yeah.
It's casino. You had a stock account that like you actually picked really good ones, but you.
And then I let you run it.
Yeah. And then we ran it into the ground for an Instagram
That
joke.
was crazy. Thanks for reminding me of that. But
Yeah.
the technical. What did we lose?
I'll never
60,000?
let you forget.
Did we lose $65,000?
I think it was 50.
Okay. Good to know. Technical analysis works because other guys think it works. Technical analysis, like, is there a meme that's like horoscope for guys?
Yeah. Chart analysis.
So when you're doing chart analysis, it's actually working because you're trading against some other guy that watched the same YouTube videos and is like countering your moves. That's why all this shit ever works for 1 second. There's a few people. If you're one of those guys that can play like 10 games of poker on 10 different laptops, then I would say go right ahead and do whatever you want to do. But there's so few people who are ever going to make money doing this day trading bullshit. So yeah, you want to just stack USD and set it aside so that you can't touch it until you need to, until the moment's right.
David C with the 20 says, just because AI is stupid doesn't mean there's not a speculative bubble to make money on. Learn that in Cash Star Academy.
For sure, yeah. I've just gotten burned anytime I tried to. I'm just too late.
Yeah, every time.
I think the ship has sailed on this. I wouldn't around.
There's one sentiment that's kind of growing where like they missed the boat of Bitcoin.
The point though is that you didn't miss the boat. There's nothing else where there's a clear 100x that you can make. Not even this AI stuff. It's not clear who the winners in AI are going to be and who's going to be able to who's even going to be able to monetize whatever value AI brings. People thought that would be NVIDIA, but then DeepSeek comes out and it's not as GPU intensive, I guess. So it's not even clear that you can bet on the hardware of AI. I'm glad Mark Zuckerberg has thrust his entire company into the thing that's a novelty, fun for 2 hours gimmick.
Have you seen like the meta valuations? Yeah. I think that's literally all VR's fault. 65% down?
My favorite one of all time, Peloton.
Peloton, yeah.
Everybody and their brother thinks that because we're going to be living indoors from now on and wearing masks, that indoor exercise bicycle with an iPad screen is the future, and the stock 10x is pretty much, and now it's worth $9. And I'm glad. I hope any asshole that bought into a negative future like that gets burned. And this is me and my chopper, baby. Running over rows of Peloton investors. Middle finger up, playing Kid Rock. Oh, it's the way that society should work is that we shouldn't have money. We should just have like this sort of sharing economy. And they'll imagine tribes and that the noble, the savages who are better than us, the tribals and the natives who are better than us and more in tune with spirituality and brotherhood and community, they don't need money, which is absolutely not true. Money has been around for 1 million years. The first thing that was written, I believe, was a ledger, accounting. The first use of writing was for accounting. So money predates writing. And the tribes that people romanticize, they used shells, beads, they used stones, they used gold, they used money in the exact same way that everybody else uses money. They used money that was that had unforgeable costliness, which means like shells, for example, a shell from a beach that was very far away. If you had this, you proved that you went through some labor to get it. That's unforgeable costliness. Gold is very hard to dig up out of the ground. You don't just, unless you're a prospector, unless the gold rush, it's very rare that you're able to just find gold lying around. You usually have to go to great lengths to get gold up out of the earth. These island tribes that use stones with a hole through them as money, that was unforgeable costliness. It was like the labor that it would take if you're on this island where there's not big rocks everywhere to find a big rock. Some Native Americans used beads, and it was the beads they took so long to make. There was labor behind them that was unforgeable costliness. And side note, Bitcoin has the same thing with mining. You have to spend a tremendous amount of computing power in order to prove that you've mined, you've validated a transaction. It's completely erroneous, this idea that there's ever been a functional civilization where there was a sharing-based economy without money. Sharing is for lower than your Dunbar number. That's the 150 people. The Dunbar number is your brain is capable, I believe this is what it is. Just look it up. I believe it's your brain is capable of holding an impression of about 150 people. Yeah, maintain stable relationships with a maximum of 150 people. So if you're a small group of people, sharing is for your family, sharing is for people who are in your immediate vicinity that are genetically similar to you, that have a common goal, but if you're going above the Dunbar number, if you want to build a civilization that's bigger than 150 people, there isn't one that has a sharing, some type of communist economy. It just doesn't work. You need a medium of exchange to facilitate transactions between relationships that are above this number. There are multiple things that happen psychologically to sort of deal with this frustration and make it so that you don't have to think about it. And so you get cynical, and you get this negative reaction when money is discussed, or you look at people who have money and you get these like very negative feelings. And then there's also people who, the way that a lot of people make money is through parasitism. Everybody on YouTube who's telling you how to get money has some like call center MLM variation. Whatever MLM thing is working now is what people are pushing. But at the end of the day, money is the thing. If you're going about it in an honest way and you're not doing some gambling thing or some call center thing, it's what you trade your time and energy. You could say that like family is more important than money, but what are you doing when you're away from your family? You're trading your time and energy for the stuff that you need to like get by in life. It's a core civilizational technology like fire, and to with the parameters of money, to like mess with the little variables and the ingredients that make it what it is, you're messing with something that's at the base of a really powerful vector. Like little changes down here make the vector swing wildly. If you don't have it, you're like a loser, right? Your genetic desire to reproduce and peacock and show that you're a sort of like sex. Like it's as important as sex psychologically. So it's hard to really think about it in a sane way and get a grasp on what it is. And what it is, is, I mean, obviously it's a medium of exchange. It's the most commonly desired good. It's the universally desired good. If it's not going to change your life materially, it's going to change the lives of your children materially. Put aside the negativity and the anxiety that comes with thinking about money and the surface level Ponzi scheme, get rich quick stuff that is associated with cryptocurrency, and start researching Bitcoin and what it is, because there's still 100x in there. There's this game theoretic concept called a Schelling point that's named after Robert or Richard Schelling, who's the mathematician or game theoretician or whoever invented this thing. But a Schelling point, the base idea of a Schelling point is, imagine you're playing a game, and the game is called Pick the Square. You're presented with 3 blue squares and 1 red square. What square do you pick? If you're smart enough to have figured out what the exercise is and you're a contrarian know-it-all, you'll pick a blue square. But everybody else picks the red square. So a Schelling point is the focal point, the rules or the object or the device or the thing that people settle on without being able to communicate to each other what the rules are. Another example of a Schelling point is if you and I have to meet in New York City and we lose our phones and we can't talk, what do? What we do is we meet at the information kiosk at Grand Central Terminal at noon on a Saturday. Nobody is trying to meet up at a nail salon in Queens, because a nail salon in Queens is not a Schelling point. And so for however many thousands of years, with every civilization that could get their hands on gold was the Schelling point for money. Now, some other civilizations weren't advanced enough to dig in the ground, and some lived on islands where they couldn't get gold, so they would go with big stones or beads or what have you. But everybody else, it was gold. And a Schelling point, it's not something where there's not a Facebook and a MySpace of a Schelling point. It doesn't function that way. It's not something where you can choose different flavors. A Schelling point is a true winner-take-all scenario. It's already been decided in the minds of even people who aren't into cryptocurrency that Bitcoin is the Schelling point for digital money. It's a done deal. It's not something that we're going to watch it play out. It already happened. The only way to fight authoritarianism and top-down control is via these things that happen secretly in that they're like things that are so absurd they're impossible to predict. Like it would have been impossible. You've got these people at the CIA and the State Department that are like, I don't know how many of them are dedicated to sort of game theorying out what is going to happen over the next 50 years, probably a lot. The effect of the outcome of the invention of digital scarcity was not on their radar.
You know, it's cool. It's radical.
It's like the invention of fire. It's a technology in the same sense that writing is a technology.